I do have you beaten him.
I will whoop your ass.
Bro, I'll pop that gap right back in that mouth. I'll have you looking like a saber gap tooth tiger. Oh my God, I'll do you dirty. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
You suck.
Hey, if I have though, you though. Oh my, here we go.
I
Hey,
don't care.
not the same
You
fighter.
lost to Rolly.
Hey, not the same fighter. Not the
lost
same.
to
Hey, when I
Rolly.
put a beat on you, what are you gonna
lost
say?
to Rolly.
When I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say?
I watched. I was
Hey,
there.
no, when I put a beat on you. When I'm talking about you. You got no power. You got no power.
And you lost. And you still scared him to this day.
No. You, bro, I'm gonna knock that gap right back in your mouth. I'm gonna knock that gap into your mouth again. Hey, you fixed the teeth. You fixed the teeth. But I'm gonna knock that right back in. I'm gonna put you bam.
It's Shakur's time right now.
Whoa. Yeah, let's do it. Hey. It's like back in the days, right?
It's the biggest fight right here.
No, I thought you was bigger than this,
bro. You know I'm not big. Wait, why do you think I was big?
God, oh man. Wait, good luck. Thank you.
Shakur Stevenson didn't wait for the dust to settle. He went live and delivered a cold warning directly to Ryan Garcia.
You know who I want. He's right there. Shakur Stevenson. Let's go. Let's run that. Hey, I want to be a great champion, and I'm not scared of. I fought Devin Haney. I'll fight Shakur Stevenson. I'll fight anybody. Let's go.
You know, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan. Shakur Stevenson was on our DAZN broadcast earlier, said he's levels above you right now. What do you think of that?
The thing is, like, you got to have some type of punching power to get me off you, because it'll be a different style, and I'm not going to hit him light. Nah. Every time I get, I'm putting it on him, you know? I want that fight. Shakur, let's get it. I see you. Hey, I like the hat. You look fly, but I want that work. Let's get it.
Congratulations.
In a calm voice and with sharp certainty, Stevenson said that if Ryan really wants him next, it won't just be an outboxing, it'll be a brutal knockout.
How do you see Shakur versus Ryan?
I think he wiped the floor with him. You know, I don't think Ryan gonna be able to hit Shakur like Barrios. Barrios was right there to be hit. Barrios was too slow. Barrios didn't have no game plan. He followed them the whole fight. And Shakur is not going to be that fighter in there to be hit on. It's just simple.
The scary part was how he said it, like a man who's already pictured the ending. No theatrics, no yelling, just that composed, clinical confidence. And that kind of quiet threat lands harder than any loud trash talk.
What can we expect from a fight?
We're very fast. You're going to see people that are quick, back and forth. And Shakur knows that he can't get lazy with me at all. That's why, like, he was looking at me right now and goes, ooh, you're not even big. I'm like, bro, you were scared if I was big? That's crazy. Like, that's what you were scared of? All right. So I got a little glimpse on what he was kind of worried about. But size don't win fights at all. You seen that today. Mario was bigger than me, but I was quicker.
Right after beating Mario Barrios, Garcia didn't celebrate like a man satisfied. He grabbed the mic with adrenaline still humming and immediately called out Shakur Stevenson, saying he wants to strip away that savant aura and prove that speed can beat slickness when the lights are brightest.
What happens in a Shakur fight? How does it end in your opinion? Decision, knockout?
We hit him with a body shot, he's done.
Why the body shot?
He can't take his body shot. We already know.
Really?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a better jab than my son. My son has an awesome jab. We beat him in the amateurs, okay, with the jabs. When Ryan was young, Ryan was only 16 years old. But he qualified 17, 18 with Shakur. Shakur was on that level. So if you're within 2 years, they're gonna put you in that category. Okay, and I said, Ryan, we didn't know Shakur, they didn't know us. But I said, you know, Ryan, let's work on that jab. Ryan was throwing that beautiful jab, pop, pop, pop. I said, okay, that's what we're gonna work on. Let's start off there.
The contrast is cinematic. Stevenson speaks like a surgeon, predicting damage. Garcia speaks like a storm, demanding the biggest challenge available.
Oh, I'm open to all those, you know, whatever. You know, Shakur, somebody that I fought in the amateurs, and we went at it, you know, and I felt like I beat him. But, you know, the politics in the USA boxing at the time were a little different, and I still got a chip on my shoulder. I've been wanting that rematch for a minute. Hopefully we get it, and, you know, when my hand heals, I'll be looking for that opportunity for sure.
One side promises precise punishment, the other promises explosive chaos. And if it becomes real, it's more than a fight. It's a style collision loaded with ego, skill, and psychological warfare, where every exchange carries consequences.
Oscar, apologies if you've already been asked about these two opponents, but what do you think a fight with Shakur Stevenson looks like? They talked about fighting each other next. What do you think that fight would look like?
I love the fight. I mean, look, there's so many options there for Ryan now. Everybody wants to fight him. Everybody wants to dethrone the pretty boy, you know? And now that he has a world title, everybody's after him. So yeah, I think it's a matter of just regrouping, let Ryan rest, and he'll make his decision once he's ready.
That looming warning from Shakur gets drowned out the moment Henry Garcia steps into the spotlight, because this isn't a calm victory lap. It's years of frustration, criticism, doubt, and redemption pouring out through one microphone. The instant Henry shuts down the VADA rumor and calls the stories fabricated, it doesn't read like casual media talk. It reads like protection mode. Not just defending a fighter, but defending his son's credibility in real time, with the cameras rolling and the narrative moving faster than any punch.
But Ryan's been doing testing his entire career. He's fought for interim titles. When he fought Tank Davis, we were doing VADA testing and it wasn't for a title. He's been testing his entire career. Every single time we set up a fight, we sign a contract, there's VADA testing. There's no such thing as dropping out of VADA testing. So all those stories are just fabricated, people trying to hate on Ryan, and they're just excuses for Haney to feel good about himself. You know, Haney wants to have an excuse as to why he got beat up, and that's it. So it's all nonsense.
Then the temperature jumps when he starts firing back at critics like Chris Algieri and others. You can hear the emotional investment in every sentence. No polished PR, no media-safe answers. It's raw parental pride mixed with competitive vindication. And when he says, "They don't know my son, I know my son," it lands heavier than any tactical breakdown, because that isn't boxing talk. That's identity talk.
Just real quick, I want to go back to the haters, because I gotta let this off my chest, because I won't be able to sleep. But Chris Algieri, you're a piece of okay? I'm sorry. You and your corny ass partner, okay? Not believing in my son. Sergio Mora, I ran into him and he said, no, your son made me a believer, so I'm not gonna go too hard on him, okay? Robert Garcia, weird, man. Oh, my son can't go over 6 rounds? Sorry, dude. They don't know my son. I know my son, okay? And every father should know their son, like I do.
In the same moment, Ryan's energy is completely different, calmer, more reflective. He's thanking the team, talking about diet, discipline, conditioning, and admitting he used to just swing without thinking. That quietly reinforces the new Ryan storyline they've been selling all camp. The contrast is striking. Henry brings emotional fireworks, battling critics out loud, while Ryan speaks in structure and gratitude, crediting the system that rebuilt him physically and mentally.
One thing, well, let me say something real quick. I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions. I know people like to put us together as beef. I guess it sells, but, you know, I don't hold grudges, and I always want to keep positivity, and I just want to say thank you for all that you've done in my career, and I appreciate it.
Ryan's quiet nod to Golden Boy right after all that tension also stands out. It feels like strategic maturity cutting through the chaos. When a fighter talks about growth and preparation, not just the result, it changes the meaning of the moment. And with his father unloading years of defensive passion beside him, the post-fight scene feels layered. Not an ending, but a statement to everyone who doubted the process.
All right, let's go. Well, the answer to your question is, yeah, I know he did it for me, but I told him before, we had dinner last night, and I said, you know what, Ryan? I said, I appreciate that. I said, but you know what? You've already won for me.
Henry's emotionally charged, protective energy shifts the moment Joe Goosen starts talking. Now the frequency changes from passion to calm, surgical honesty, and the contrast is striking in real time. Goosen opens with a joke about gummies, setting a relaxed tone, but when he follows it by saying that's exactly how Ryan fights, it doesn't sound like surprise or excuse. It sounds like veteran acceptance, an experienced coach acknowledging what he's seen before and calling it straight.
What's your question?
What were your thoughts on Ryan's performance?
Look, that's exactly how Ryan fights. That's exactly how I knew he was going to fight. We tried to prepare for it as best we could. I think, aside from that knockdown in the first round and a few other shots Ryan landed, we blocked a lot of his shots. Ryan obviously outscored us.
He's simply acknowledging the stylistic reality they walked into. Goosen says they prepared for the speed, the footwork, and the trickiness, and still, Ryan outscored them. That lands harder than any headline because it's composed truth, not emotional spin. He then breaks down the inside tie-ups and the foot positioning like a coach replaying the chessboard in his head, move by move. And underneath the polite delivery, you can hear it clearly, a technical assessment, not a consolation speech.
He's tricky. He's great on his feet. He'll tie you up on the inside because that's not his favorite place to be. And then he'll move around and walk you into some shots, and if you stall out on him, he'll come and get you. He's smart. He's smart, and he's fast, and he's fleet of foot. So he's got a lot going for him. He's champ of the world tonight.
But there's a subtle edge when Goosen mentions the first-round knockdown and a few other clean shots. The way he frames it quietly signals that momentum moments mattered more than any simple volume narrative. Then he pivots to the size factor and the drain of making 147, balancing the line carefully. No excuses, just physiological reality from a seasoned strategist protecting his fighter's dignity. The coldest line comes when he says you don't really train Ryan Garcia, you collaborate with him. It's layered. Translation, Garcia is instinct-driven, self-styled, and unpredictable, even to elite coaches. And when Goosen admits he was needling Ryan mid-fight just to provoke a response, that's veteran gamesmanship, psychological pressure delivered with a calm, almost playful precision. Still, he gives Garcia full credit, calls him champ, and praises the speed and ring IQ, while also respecting Barrios' toughness and effort. No bitterness, no chaos, just composed realism after a high-stakes night. One corner speaks in emotional vindication, the other speaks in analytical acceptance, and that kind of brutally calm honesty from a veteran trainer can say more about how dominant the performance felt than any loud post-fight rant ever could.
Look, Ryan, I've known Ryan for many years, and I got to tell you, Mario Barrios is a fine young man. I love the kid. He's really a wonderful, classy human being, Mario Barrios. And so is Ryan. We're all friends. It's a small community, the boxing community. So I'm happy for Ryan, and I'm sad for Mario Barrios. He put a lot of work. Jonathan and I trained Mario, and we put in close to 3 months of a training camp with him, and it was serious, hard work. We were doing round after round of training. Now, I will tell you, and I don't make excuses for anybody, Mario, you saw how much bigger he is than Ryan. He had to make 147 pounds. I think it's going to be the last time he ever does that.
Goosen's calm, professor-level honesty, basically admitting Ryan does what he wants, hits a different gear the moment Wade jumps in shouting, "Domination." But they're describing the same reality from opposite emotional angles. Analytical respect from the losing corner and explosive certainty from the outside. Wade says Garcia fought like he knew the world was watching, and you can see why. The way Ryan took the center wasn't just aggression, it was psychological ownership, like he clocked in early and never clocked out. Wade keeps circling the jab to right hand sequence, and it fits the story of this performance. This wasn't left hook merchant Ryan, this was layered, calculated violence, built on setups and repetition. And when Wade points to that first right hand hurting Barrios, it lands as a turning point nobody can spin. Momentum didn't slowly build, it detonated. What's also telling is that Wade still credits Barrios' toughness while calling it a wash. That mirrors Goosen's tone earlier, acceptance without excuses, respect without denial.
Turns out, Mario Barrios, one tough SOB. He was not going to get knocked out in the first round, and come to find out he wasn't going to get knocked out at all, but that was a tone setter for the fight. And it was like, from that moment on, Ryan had almost zero issue with Barrios, and Barrios had no answers for anything Ryan was doing. And again, I told you, go back and watch my video. Yes, the left hook was prevalent and it landed in this fight, and Ryan was devastating with it, but it would be the right hand. It would be the hand that everyone forgot that Ryan Garcia had. And one, to be fair, he hadn't shown had been as devastating as his lead hand for a very long time. That would be the difference maker in this fight.
The spiciest part is Wade saying boxing needed this Ryan. That isn't just hype, it's industry reality. A violent, dominant, locked-in Garcia brings star power and unpredictability in one package, and that sells a story better than any safe, low-risk performance ever could. Then Wade pivots to Shakur Stevenson watching from the shadows, and the mood shifts from celebration to danger. Now it's speed and explosiveness versus surgical control. Wade even floats the idea that this version of Ryan could shock Shakur again. Bold, risky, and entertaining, especially as he points to the right-hand evolution and sustained 12-round intensity, which chips away at the old narrative about mental lapses. But here's the hard truth. Dominating Barrios proves world level. Shakur is a different kind of problem. He's not a durability test, he's a thinking test. And if this newly disciplined, violent Ryan shows up again with a functional jab and a dangerous right hand, it changes the conversation. Because then the question isn't whether Ryan belongs, it's whether Shakur can solve him without giving him the one moment he needs.
And it was, again, it was shocking to see Barrios dominated like that. Like, Barrios has been stopped, right? He's been beaten. There was no pillar-to-post beating that I've ever seen anyone put on Mario Barrios like Ryan Garcia did tonight. And again, the variety in the shots, upstairs, downstairs, the lead hook. He would frame with the jab, which is something I love when fighters do. He would 1-2-1 and frame with that lead hand. And then when Barrios got past the lead hand, bang, left hook, pivot out, right hand. It was like he had an answer for everything Barrios did. And no.
Now, that matchup stops feeling like fantasy and starts looking like a real style collision the sport can't ignore. Because when you zoom out from all the noise, the Shakur warning, Henry Garcia's emotion, Joe Goossen's calm honesty, and Wade's explosive breakdown, the real story isn't just that Ryan won, it's that an entire narrative ecosystem shifted in one night. One side had been speaking with surgeon-like confidence about levels and knockouts. The other answered with performance, discipline, structure, and a version of Ryan Garcia that looked sharper, more calculated, and far more dangerous than the chaotic fighter critics kept labeling. You had a father defending legacy, a veteran trainer accepting reality with composure, analysts shouting domination, and a rival circling like a shark, already studying the tape. That isn't just a post-fight atmosphere, it's the birth of the next mega storyline, because the conversation has changed from can Ryan stay focused to something bigger. Can this upgraded, violent, disciplined Ryan solve the most technical puzzle in boxing? That's where it gets cinematic. Power versus precision, instinct versus control, chaos versus calculation. If this trajectory holds, the Barrios fight won't be remembered as the climax, it'll be remembered as the ignition point. So the question is simple, but dangerous. Does Ryan's explosive evolution crack Shakur's surgical defense, or does Shakur's ring IQ neutralize that momentum completely? Drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing XYZ.